Hey there, how you doing? This is Coach Chris Wilson with the Strong by Design podcast. Today I am very happy to be sitting across from Michelle DiCapua, who is a police officer here in Southwest Florida. And she is somebody actually that we have a history with here at Criticalbench, but I'll let her share that. So Michelle, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we first met years ago, and I'll let you share where it was that we met you.
So we actually met at my first NPC physique competition. So I compete in the Bikini division, and that's where we met, and that was years ago, and we've kept in touch, and now we do the fitness videos, and here I am today.
Yeah, and we've been fortunate enough to work with you in the past on some of our projects and some of our just YouTube content that was all fitness and health based. And so you have been in law enforcement for several years now, and you obviously identify with exercise and being physically fit and just always kind of holding yourself to a certain standard, right?
Yes.
And you actually, for exercise, you're a big fan of CrossFit. You've been doing CrossFit training for many years now too.
Yes, I do. I am a big fan of CrossFit. So.
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody where you do that, or not necessarily?
No, we'll keep that private.
Okay, we'll keep that private. But you can follow, if you want to follow Michelle, you can follow her. What's your Instagram?
Instagram is Blueline_beauty.
Yeah, and she's got some great content that she puts up there, so definitely check her out there. So you've been obviously fit and competing in Bikini and CrossFit for years. And where do you stand when it comes to like first responders and their level of health and fitness?
So I've been a police officer for 14 years.
Right.
And I've done a few aspects of the job. My personal opinion is that fitness and first responders go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I think that if you choose the career to be a police officer or EMS, firefighter, military, anything like that, that you need to be fit, you need to be healthy, and you need to keep up with that. Not just for yourself, but for your coworkers and for your community.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree 100% with that. And that's, I've thought about that before when I've seen, because we see all different types, right? Whenever we see a paramedic or we see a firefighter or we see a police officer, and these are people that do a really important job. And they have to be ready to handle high-stress situations and potentially high-stress physical situations. So that's where, like, in my mind, as a guy who's been in health and fitness for a long time, I always feel like you got to kind of have yourself at a certain level or a certain standard in order to deal with these situations properly.
And I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you need to be a CrossFit Games athlete or that you need to be a professional bodybuilder, but there should be some type of fitness routine in your lifestyle. You should be eating healthy. You should be able to get to your partner in an emergency, run up a flight of stairs. You should be able to perform CPR on somebody by yourself if you're the only one there without getting winded or without needing to give up because you don't have the cardio or you don't have the mental aspect to keep pushing. So I feel like it's imperative for first responders and that they owe it to other people to maintain a fit and healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. And like you said, it's these moments of high stress. I mean, when lives are on the line, it's very, very stressful. And so exercise and fitness, I don't know if a lot of people think of it that way, but that is a form of stress, okay? We're actually in this 21st century life that we have to actually force ourselves into stress situations that we normally wouldn't have to be in just because of kind of how easy we have it. If you go back hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, we were always in high stress situations just for survival purposes. And so when it came to the point where we had to save our own lives or someone else's, we could probably handle that situation fairly well because it was just our day-to-day. But in the life we live today, we actually have to go out of our way to put ourselves into these like fake or seemingly created situations to let our body go through this physical stress so that it can cope with it and still, function. And so you can kind of like keep your stuff together while you're operating.
Yes, and fitness helps you do that.
Yeah, fitness totally helps you do that. So what's your advice then for somebody maybe who's new in this line of work and they're looking to attach themselves to a certain regimen, some certain type of training or exercise?
Like I said, I'm not expecting anybody to go to the games. I'm not expecting anybody to go overboard with the fitness, but just do cardio a couple times a week. Do some strength training so you can build some muscle. Build your mental aspect so you know what your body is capable of. You know that you can push past that limit so that if you are in a fight or a foot chase, you don't just give up. You know your body can keep going. Yeah. And that comes from going to the gym and being fit and knowing and just keep pushing yourself so that you get more endurance and you get more muscle and you build that mental strength. So I would say to start with some cardio a few times a week, do some strength training, and just clean up your diet. Again, you don't have to eat super strict. You don't have to eat chicken and vegetables 6 times a day like a bodybuilder. But if you're going to be working night shift, which the majority of new people will be, pack your lunch so you're not reaching for a sugary drink, so you're not reaching for candy bars at 2 o'clock in the morning. And when there's nothing open, when it's hard to choose a restaurant because nothing's open at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, if you don't want to pack your lunch, you can still make healthy decisions. You can still get eggs, you can still get a salad, you can still get grilled chicken. Just eat healthy, get to the gym a few times a week. If you don't want to go to the gym, get outside and run. There's plenty of body weight movements that you can do to gain muscle and to maintain your strength, and just do that a few times a week. Yeah, no, that's great advice. And it's just maintain a certain level of fitness where you're active every day and you're testing your body in physical ways, giving it some of these stress situations, and then being able to recover it and build your confidence too. Confidence is a huge part, right, of being a first responder, being confident in your physical ability, knowing you can handle a situation. Confidence, and also your command presence. If you're talking to a suspect, you better believe that they're sizing you up. They're looking you up and down. Can I run from this person? Can I beat this person in a fist fight? Can I grab this officer's weapon? I mean, they're looking at you and they're making these decisions. So if you show up and they think that you're unfit, or they think that you don't care because your uniform looks sloppy or something like that, they're going to be more likely to want to run and to want to fight. If you took a unfit police officer and you took a fit police officer and you asked the suspect who would they want to go toe to toe with, they're gonna choose the unfit police officer. So even just looking fit and showing up on scene and having confidence can deter the whole situation. Absolutely. Being kind of like the alpha in the situation where everyone else kind of is submissive, because that's really, you want to own it. You want to, in a very kind of polite but like because obviously you always want to come off like you're in charge, you got the situation under control, and like and you're just confident in who you are, what you're going to do, what you're going to say, just all that. But people look at our physical appearance, and that's their first thing that they're going to see. The first thing that they notice. The first thing that they're going to look at is, wow, that police officer's fit. Okay, I'm not going to run from him. Right. Like if the Rock shows up and he's the cop, exactly, you're not running from that guy. But if like Jim Belushi, shows up, and it's like, I could probably beat this guy to the corner, so I'm going to go for it. And a lot of that confidence comes from working out and knowing that, because honestly, we're doing the same thing. We're looking at a person going, is this person going to try to fight me? Mm-hmm. What's the situation? Sure. Are there charges on this person? Am I going to have to take this person to jail? So when we meet people, we're doing the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. So just having that confidence and showing up and you yourself knowing, if I had to get in a foot chase, I can. If this person wants to try to grab my gun, I can at least hold them off or defend myself for a 30-second, 1-minute fight, which if you've been in a fight and your adrenaline's going, you know that's about how long they last. It's quick. Yeah. I mean, 30 seconds to a minute and you're exhausted. You have to be able to push past that. And working out gets you to push past and know like you can keep going. Even though your body wants to stop, you can keep going and keep fighting and keep pushing. So it's a totality of all of those.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's a lot that the general person, myself, like a citizen, who I don't think we give enough credit to a lot of these people, the situations that they put themselves in willingly, whether that's arriving on the scene of a domestic thing or a traffic situation going on, when it's dark and it's rainy and multiple cars, or if there's a fire. I mean, you're on all these different types of scenes, and it can be scary. I mean, so you got to be able to handle all that stress, and then and then cope with the physical demand too. So
you have to be able to control your body.
Yeah, big. So how has CrossFit changed you over these years? So you've been in law enforcement now for 14 years. So obviously when you started, you weren't doing that type of training, but you started training, with the CrossFit and everything in the 6-7 years or so now. Did you feel a change in your performance on the job, transitioning into the CrossFit for physical health?
Well, I was always a fit person. Growing up, I studied martial arts, so I really enjoyed martial arts. I studied a bunch of them. I teach defensive tactics, so I've always been fit. But there was something for me. Me and CrossFit, we're like peanut butter and jelly. We just go hand in hand. It matches with me, and I think it's because when I go to a regular gym, I just get bored.
Yeah.
And when it's just you and weight machines,
right,
I just get bored with it. So I like going into an atmosphere where the workouts are different. You can see other people working out. You can try to compete against other people, try to get a better score.
Right.
It's very friendly. It's a group activity. I mean, I'm not going to quit the workout if my buddy's over there and she's still going.
Sure.
So it just works for me. And I'm not saying that it's for everybody, but find what it is that you like. If you like to go to the gym by yourself, if you like the solitude and put your music on and just work out by yourself, that's great. For me, that didn't really work.
Right.
So I like CrossFit. I like doing martial arts.
That's awesome. Yeah, martial arts is fantastic. My son's actually he's been doing Taekwondo for a couple of years now. He'll be 7 in October, and he's got his in Taekwondo. There's all the different martial arts have different belts, right? But the Taekwondo, he's got his red stripe belt now, which means then he'll progress to his red belt, and then he'll get a black stripe belt, and then a black belt. So it's exciting to think like, wow, a year from now, like he has the potential to like be close to getting a black belt, which would be pretty neat, So, and it's great because that's something you can stick with for your life. I mean, that type of approach to fitness, whether it's in martial arts or some other similar type of thing, karate or taekwondo or jiu-jitsu or any of these things. These are things that you can do kind of forever, and they do keep you really physically in strong and sure of yourself.
And they teach you discipline and respect.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the two biggest things I think that come from studying martial arts is the discipline and respect.
Yeah. Well, that's the number one reason why I like my son doing it, because his teacher's a 5th degree black belt woman who's probably 110 pounds soaking wet with rocks in her pockets, but all the kids listen to her, so it's pretty awesome. So obviously you love CrossFit. What would you say are your favorite workouts or WODs? So any of the CrossFitters that are listening to this, what are your favorite when you show up and look at the board or check on your phone the night before when they post it? Like, what are the ones you're most excited about?
I laugh because I don't check the WODs. I look at the board and I see what we're doing. My favorite movement is overhead squats.
Okay.
I'm good at them. I don't know.
Good for you.
I like to do them.
That's probably my least favorite, actually, because of my shoulder.
A lot of people have shoulder mobility issues. I don't. I really like the overhead squats. For me, I always had a hard time activating my glutes, so I had to work on that, and we did a video with that, and that really helped. And once my glutes started getting stronger, it helped alleviate back pain. So deadlifts for me were hard for a while.
Yeah.
Any type of heavy clean, front squats were very hard on my back. But now that my glutes are performing better, like those lifts are getting easier.
Oh,
but
that's fantastic.
It's still overhead squats.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a tough one. Anyone who's never done an overhead squat, the way you have to position your arms with the bar and the amount of weight you're using, it's a real technical and lift that takes a lot of practice to really get it down. But that's cool. That's pretty rewarding. So you touched on, and obviously another big component, it's not just about exercise. When someone needs to get into better shape, losing weight is large in part due to our diet, to what we're eating. And you touched on it before a little bit with like prepping a little bit, like if you're working a third shift or something as a first responder, you're not working at the typical 9 to 5. You're working at hours where it can be tough to make a good decision with your food. So you need to prepare in advance and bring stuff with you. Give us some more tips on ways to make a good decision, or cooking in bulk, and what to bring with you, what's good on the go food.
Well, you could always meal prep on Sundays.
Right.
To be honest with you, I'm not the best cook. So for me, a lot of my decisions is
I saw that chicken that you were eating, that dry
I was choking on it. I couldn't even swallow it. It was so dry and disgusting. But I've got a show in 4 days, so right now I'm eating very strict, but I don't expect people to do that.
Right.
For me, I still eat out a lot, especially on my shift. I don't like to cook. I don't want to bring my food, but I make good decisions when I do eat out. So like I said, even if it's 2:00 in the morning, I can still just order eggs and a salad and grilled chicken and vegetables. Mm-hmm. I mean, some places you can still get a burger without the bun. Mm-hmm. You can get that with a salad. You can get that with grilled vegetables. I mean, you can make healthy decisions. Yeah. Don't go to places where you're gonna choose poorly. Don't go to a gas station where there's gonna be sodas and you're gonna grab some of that,
right,
and you're gonna want the candy bar. Just avoid places like that. Bring healthy snacks. You can bring almonds, you can bring almond butter, you can bring carrots, you can bring fruit with you. Mm-hmm. Pack your own cottage cheese, yogurt, whatever it is that you like that works with your body, and just bring that with you.
Yeah.
And that way you're not going into a store when you want sugar and then you eat sugar and your body craves it more. That way you just eliminate all of that.
So you can just have a little cooler. I mean, if you're out on patrol or whatever, right, you're in a car,
yes,
and you just have a little cooler with you in the front seat. And so you're just reaching in there, and all it's filled with are good choices. So you can't really screw up.
Exactly, and not to mention too, you might get stuck on a call.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be stuck on a call and you don't have food, and
right,
maybe your partner swings by and is like, "Hey, I picked you up a Snickers bar because you're hungry," or something like that. It's so much easier just to bring the food with you. To make healthy decisions.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and you were. Obviously, you've gone from one thing to the next in your 14-year career. So you've kind of, I don't know if the word enjoyed, but gone through probably lots of different levels, right, through your career of like your schedule changing and having to just change the way you do things just to be able to maintain your level of fitness.
Yes, I started, we were working 10-hour shifts. So I was working 9 p.m. till 7 a.m. And then I don't go to bed right when I get home just because that's the end of my day and that's when I want to enjoy and just kind of relax. So I was going to bed at 9 o'clock in the morning and sleeping all day.
So a complete opposite of normal people.
So I did that for, I think, around 3 years, and then we went to 12-hour shifts. And then I was able to go to evening shift, which is 3 p.m. till 3 a.m. So I worked that for 3 years, and then I got promoted to detective. So I was working pretty much 9 to 5, sometimes 2 to 10, but more day shift. And then I got promoted to sergeant and put back on nights. So I was working 6 p.m. till 6 a.m.
What's been your favorite, out of all these different start and stop times, what's kind of been your favorite schedule to stick with?
To be honest, I am not a morning person. Okay. So the 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. is not... That would be my favorite shift, I would say.
3 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Yes, that's what I work now. So I actually wake up around 1:40 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I go to work, and then when I come home, I'll clean the house, I'll play on my phone, whatever, relax. So I usually go to bed around 5:30 in the morning.
Wow, crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it works, right? There's one of our editors. He is like ridiculous as the hours. He pretty much is like a night owl, I guess. I don't know. He's just like up until 3 or 4 in the morning, and then just kind of sleeps, kind of like you, until like 1 lunchtime, basically. But that's what he likes. It's like, all right, it's different for I have 2 small children, so like that schedule will not work. My wife would be like, "You're sleeping until when?" Anyway,
luckily I had the seniority to go to evenings. Otherwise, I would be on 6 p.m. till 6 a.m., which is just then I was going to bed at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And again, why fitness is so important is because when your sleep schedule is off like that, it makes you obviously more tired. It makes you gain weight. Your body starts craving sugar. Your body's out of whack. So again, why fitness is important is that if you're working these weird hours, if you're working through the night, if you're a firefighter and you're getting calls and you're jumping out of your sleep and that's raising your stress levels, it just helps your body to be fit, to eat well, to try to get good sleep if you can, and to just do some cardio because it's going to have a lot of benefits because of our sleep schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that messes up with like your anabolic and catabolic windows and stuff. Yeah, and for anybody knows that's like, whether you're going to gain muscle or you're going to gain fat is really based on your sleep schedule and stuff and your level of activity. But at least, if you're active on a regular basis, at least when you have the opportunity to go to sleep, you'll probably fall asleep pretty easily because you're just
you're working out, you're tired, and you're going to sleep better.
Yeah.
One of the things I notice is that when I do shows and I eliminate sugar and I eliminate chemicals and I'm bringing my own food, is that I sleep so much better. It's probably due to the extra cardio that I'm doing, plus eliminating sugar and chemicals and all that extra stuff that I don't need in my food and just eating clean. I sleep so much better.
Yeah.
I go to bed, my mind's not racing, I don't have weird nightmares, I just sleep.
Yeah.
So when you choose this career, you kind of got to go into it knowing that your sleep is going to be a little out of schedule.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. It comes with the job.
Yeah. I definitely give you a lot of credit, and anyone else listening that's a first responder or considering that line of work. It's definitely something that they don't get enough praise, but the media is very quick to like point out where they've gone wrong or failed, but not enough. I don't think of a light shined on all the amazing things. And there are moments where they do it, but the news is just another business platform, so they're just trying to sell stories. But I think that the police and the first responders need to be just absolutely respected and given so much credit for all the work that they do on a daily basis. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. No,
we do appreciate that. So.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so hey, if you see somebody that's a first responder, those of you listening who aren't, then go over and give them a high five or a handshake or a hug and let them know how important they are to you, because it's pretty amazing work. And if we didn't have them, life would be much harder for us citizens, for sure. So, hey, any last tips? Because you are, 4 days away from your show?
I am.
So if anyone's doing bikini or any NPC, whether if you're a guy and you're doing physique or whatever, so 4 days out, where's your mental state right now? And we know that your dry chicken isn't really helping you.
Oh, that's horrible. I just keep telling myself it's going to be over in 4 days.
Yeah.
The days, honestly, these days go so quick because you're busy doing things and you're seeing the end result. Your body's changing. You can make some massive changes in this last week. So it's hard when you're not seeing changes, but this week, when you know that there's a finish line, when you can see your body is changing, the excitement starts to come, and then the list of food that I want to eat, I'm like, it's just 5 days away.
Yeah,
it's just, I can do it, just 5 more days. So
and you were saying before we started, like, it's not necessarily the meal you have right after the show because you're just so exhausted and you're so sore from your posing and your shoes and everything else, but it's like the next morning you wake up.
Like Christmas morning.
And it's like Christmas morning because you're like
Christmas morning.
And you already know what you're going to eat.
Yep, I already have a plan. I usually go to the same restaurant every single time after my shows. So yeah, it's a long day. It's an exhausting day. It's fun, but when it's done, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I just want to get some sleep, and then even though I work night shift, I'll wake up early because I know I'm going to go eat.
Yeah, well, good for you. Good luck. Can't wait to see some great pictures on your on Instagram, and we'll continue to follow you. Be sure to follow Michelle on her Instagram, which again, your handle one more time?
It's Blueline_beauty.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we thank you for joining us today and giving a shout out to all these amazing first responders in the world. And hope you found some of this information interesting. And we'll talk to you real soon in the next podcast show. This is Coach Chris with the Strong by Design show. Talk to you soon.